It's your boy, the Ben Israel, the People's Champ, back with another YouTube live stream. I hope y'all doing well. Oh man, shalom Israel. Shalom, you Negroes. Shout out to my trolls. Shout out to the Mitches. Oh man, it's good to be back. It's good to be back. September 15th, Monday. Oh man, 2025, y'all. Yeah, man, we winding it down. This year went by fast, man. We already in the golden quarter. The hell is going on? Shit. Man. Oh man. Let me get my disclaimers in. If you don't want to be here, don't be here. Move around. Plenty of places to be out here in these YouTube streets. Shout out to Love Dorsey. Now, if you do want to be here, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, share. Yeah, man, we got to participate over here. This is an interactive channel. This is fully immersive content over here. Oh, man. Shit. Y'all, I just been lazy lately. I'm not going to lie. I have no viable reason why I haven't been going live. I just been lazy. That's all I got to say. I just been flat out lazy. And I gotta get that together. I just been frankly disgusted. I mean, I can't use my excuse that I've been sick, that I've been in the hospital. Can't use that no more. I've just been lazy. I have been making some pre-recorded content. So I've been giving y'all a little something. Let me know if y'all been seeing my videos, my Chef V videos, and my Hope Garden videos. I decided to give myself a hobby. I don't know if I explained this previously, but I needed somewhere to focus my mind and my hands at the same time. I think as men, we put too much emphasis on the women in our lives. And we don't do stuff for ourselves. We don't do things we want to do. We always, well, what would she like? What she want to do? Men have been trained to do this all their lives. So it's a hard thing to break. But men are starting overall to move away from that mindset. And that's why men are walking away from relationships. They spending more time doing what they want to do. And this, that's what men are doing. Because they haven't been getting, or we as men haven't been getting a return on our investment. I mean, whether it's short term or long term. Think about it. 20-year marriage. A woman could just wake up the next day and say, I don't like him no more. Take the kids and the furniture and walk the fuck out. That happens every day. And there's nothing a man can do. Even when there are laws on the books that prevent some of this behavior, those laws don't get enforced. The police will typically side with the woman. even going against the law. I've seen it. I've been a victim of it. For example, North Carolina is is an equitable distribution state. So that means when you're going through your divorce, you got to submit all your records on which what the property is. We got a house, we got 2 cars, we got furniture, X amount of TVs, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And the judge decides who gets what. It's not like California where they split it 50-50 right down the middle. Because what if I had some shit before she came into the relationship? I had the car. I had the house. It's not fair that she gets half of my grandparents' house or half of my great grandfather's land. That ain't got nothing to do with her. Or vice versa. If her daddy left her some land, I shouldn't be entitled to that. Now, there are exceptions to that. Well, what if you had the house, ladies, and I move in with you, but I put $200,000 on my money, into renovating that house over the course of the 20 years. I should be entitled to that house. Especially if I put more into the house than it was worth. What if the house is only worth 150 and I drop $200,000 on it? That's interesting. On top of I had been paying bills the whole time. I had, so not only did I kick out the renovation budget and the physical labor maintenance, I also been paying bills. So the only way she would be fully entitled to the house is if she paid 100% of everything that went towards that house. The mortgage, the renovation. You can't do, what is it? I forget the term. You can't commingle funds. I don't know if that's the correct term. There may be an actual specific term for what I'm describing. It escapes me now. Hold on, checking my comments, y'all. I have a couple. Is that my bestie in here? Is that Messi Michonne up in here? Hey, baby. Girl, I better not ever see you in real life. I love that woman there, boy. Y'all just don't know. Love me some Messi. I can't see the red. Y'all know I can't see. I'm trying to see. Hold on. I'm pretty sure that's Messi Michonne. Who we got? Who else we got? Shit. I can't fucking tell. I can't fucking tell. Y'all know I'm blind and shit. Give me a chance. Give me some time for my fucking eyes to adjust. Leave me alone. Y'all ain't shit. I am legally blind. For those of you who don't know, welcome to the channel. My name is V Ben Israel. I am the People's Champ. Welcome to the podcast. Shout out to my mods. I'm sure some of y'all creeping up in here. Where the fuck is TJ at? TJ been late for class a lot. The last couple of times I've been going live. Me and TJ gonna have to talk. He ain't called me back either. That was months ago. The nigga ain't shit. But anyway, Shout out to RBN, the artist formerly known as RBN, Through the Fire Podcast. Make sure y'all go over there and like, subscribe, and share. If he is in the chat, please drop a link to your channel. Or if one of my mods can do it. Y'all know we spread the love over here. We spread love over here. So anyway, yeah, equitable distribution is a thing, though. And that's again, so that way it was generally like in North Carolina and South Carolina, you had a lot of Black people who lost land, typically because of tax issues. The land got left to somebody who got left to somebody, and then they never paid the taxes. And we as Black people lost a lot of land in the Carolinas. So a lot of these equitable distribution laws came about historically because of that kind of thing and marital thing. I think about my great grandfather, Roland McKay. He had a bunch of kids. He had 4 daughters and, hell, was it 4 sons? Nelford, Jack, Luther. It was 3 sons. So all of his daughters was married. The sons didn't have no sons. No, Luther had a son. He's somewhere up there in Chicago. I don't know him. Nelford had a son, but Nelford fucked up his land early on. He sold his land off. So his son got knocked out of the inheritance. And then, so that left Jack. Jack didn't have no sons. Jack had 2 daughters. And his daughters had sons. One of his daughters had a son. That's Michael McKay. No, he's not even a McKay. So anyway, my point is, they weren't having enough sons. So Roland wanted the land to stay in blood control. But because there was so many women in the family, and then a lot of these women, they outlived, they died early, and their husbands outlived them. So now you got their husbands who now have legal control over land that was never supposed to be there. Well, I mean, back then, Black people didn't know about trusts and things in the states and things of that nature. So they just assumed that their wishes were going to be respected and followed by the younger generations that came about. Wrong, 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 wrong. CYA, cover your ass at all times. Hello. Words matter. Hello. You got to put that shit on paper. Words matter. You got to put them words down on paper. Get some legalese going. Okay? Hell, legalese would be better than what we've been doing. We ain't been doing shit as a people. What the fuck? But, I mean, I really saw this. Well, I saw it up north too. I was talking to a friend of mine not too long ago. Shout out to Peter Edwards. And me and Peter been friends since damn junior high school. But anyway, we was talking on the phone. And he happened to say, "Yo, bro, I'm riding through the old neighborhood." I said, "That's what's up." Nah, he was like, nah. And then he was like, "Where we at?" I'm like, "Oh shit." And I understood immediately what he meant by where are we at? Meaning we're the original folks, or the descendants of the original folks. Where we at? We not in the old neighborhoods no more. Now up north, Jersey, New York, Connecticut, Philly, those kind, not just Philly, Pennsylvania, period. What happened was, typically in the early 90s is when this really got going. is the grandparents retired and they came down south. And what happened when they came down south? They sold the house, or they gave the house to one of their kids, who in turn eventually sold the house and they came down south. So we left. We left them neighborhoods that our grandparents gentrified and built up, and all of those kind of things. Those what used to be the suburbs, before there was such a thing as the suburbs. I know in like Newark, so East Orange used to be a suburb of Newark. Well, all that shit is the hood now. Now it ain't ghetto. All of it ain't ghetto. Because I mean, even parts of Newark, only small parts, snippets in Newark are like really ghetto. I mean, you got some nice sections in Newark, Hillside, Plainfield, all those surrounding towns of Newark, because our grandparents moved up to Newark, New York, Baltimore, Philly, those areas to work in the factories. So I was talking to my grandfather about this one time, and I know I'm monologuing a little bit before we get into the main point of the stream. But so I was talking to my grandfather, and I said, and I talked to my Aunt Jean and Uncle John. My Uncle John recently died, as some of you know. So how did y'all move to Jersey? These people were from rural South Carolina. Rural. All South Carolina ain't rural. You got a couple urban areas. Columbia, Charleston, those kind of things. But so from York and Ruby, South Carolina to Newark, New Jersey is a big leap. I was curious. How did they do it? Or why did they do it? Well, it was somebody from back home, as my grandfather put it. He never told me who that lady was, but it was some lady from back home who had a boarding house in Newark. And she sent word for the young people to come up to Jersey in New York, etc. And I'm assuming this story was very common. So when they got up there, my grandfather lived in a boarding house. They lived in one room. And then when they got enough money, they got an apartment in the projects down on off of Bergen Street in Newark. James Avenue or Street is what that street was called. It's not there no more. I can't remember. They tore the projects down. They ain't even there no more. That whole area has been revitalized. It's now University Heights. Anyway, then when they saved up their money, they started moving into where the white people was living. And that created white flight. So the white people kept moving further and further out. So the white people moved out of East Orange and those kind of places and moved into South Orange and Livingston and Whippany and those kind of places. So after all of that hard work my grandparents did, and the baby boomers, them sociopaths, they didn't appreciate nothing. They took all of that equity and bought cars and refinanced the houses and to do stupid shit. And then they sold the house to get up out of that. And then they moved down south. I appreciate those of you who are still here rocking with me. Thank you. Thank you for the comments and everything. So that's what happened. And so we lost all of that property, land that we had in those cities. Now I know my father's mother, they're still, I was talking to my Aunt Wendy. She says they've been in that house 67 years. The fuck? So that means in 3 years, which will be 2028, had been in that house 70 years. Hell, that house is over, it's gotta be at least 120 years old. That house is old. So that's a long time to be in one neighborhood and just think all of the things that my grandmother and my aunt witnessed, the changing times, the civil rights era and, the gentrifications and seeing the neighborhood change around you. Now, a lot of those buildings up there, I know last time I was there in 2019 when my father died. No, I was there a little bit after 2020. My friend's, her husband died, so I went up there to see them. So anyway, we were driving around and I'm like, damn, these buildings are old. They've been here forever. Now they've changed names. I'm like, yo, that used to be a furniture store. It's like a T-Mobile store now. Or, this used to be that, there used to be a diner right there. White Star Diner. It's now a Baskin and Robbins. Or, I just kept seeing those kind of things. Fascinating. But some things were a welcome sight to see that was still there. For example, Orange Park, very beautiful park. All my life, it's been beautiful. Still is. They kept the park up. The city of Orange kept that park. Well, Jersey has always had very nice recreation parks and services. They always had very nice. So even Weekway Park, very nice park, very big park. Beautiful. So moving on. CYA, cover your ass, and words matter. So this is what we're finding out with the death of Charlie Kirk. Rest in peace to Charlie Kirk. I was a fan of his. Some of you are saying, of course you were. I've been a fan of his for quite a while now. I'm not like all of these people coming out speaking on Charlie Kirk. They just now finding out who Charlie Kirk is since he died. They heard he died. They went on YouTube, looked at a couple of his videos and decided I like him or I don't like him. That's why so many things are being taken out of context and he's being accused of things that he wasn't or didn't do, say. I've been watching him for at least a couple of years. Because I don't dibble and dabble in white spaces very much. So, but every now and then I become aware of some of them. And it'll pique my curiosity, and he did. He was an awesome debater. He was fearless when it came to it, or rather very confident and skillful. The man was skilled. So anyway, but people, they heard Charlie, who's this Charlie Kirk person? They went on YouTube. Oh, he's a racist. I've never heard him say anything racist. That's a word that's overused And that comes from the liberal left, the lunatic lefties. They use words to try to shut down the opposition. So racism is one, narcissistic is one, Nazi is one, fascist is another. They got all of these words that they like to throw out there so people won't listen to what you're saying. So people won't even consider the things that you're saying, right? That's what it's all about. It's tactical. I don't want other people to hear what he's saying, so I'm going to label him something: a narcissist, bipolar, fascist, racist. Yeah. And they use the words incorrectly. 99% of the time, they're using the words incorrectly. They don't know what the words mean. Narcissist, they don't know what it means. Bipolar, they don't know what it means. Right? And they end up putting their kids on these ADHD medicines and all of that kind of nonsense. And my kid is on the spectrum. No, your kid need his fucking ass whooped. That's all that's wrong with your kid. He need a daddy in his life to get in that ass when he's little. A little Forrest Gump ass motherfucker. Oh, I may be cussing too much for you too. Let me shut up. Life is like a box of chocolate ass ninja. I mean, come on now. Shout out to Coach Greg Adams. He always saying, don't nobody shout him out. Shout out to Coach Greg Adams, the CTA, the notorious one. Come on now, Coach. I'm always showing you. I've been showing you love for years. Come on now. Come on now. And you're not the only one talking about these topics. By the way, that's how I found you. Because you were talking like me. And we in the same age group. I think a few months older than you. Right? I shouted out Messi Michonne earlier, and I just shouted out CGA. Make sure y'all go over to the Free Agent Lifestyle channel and like, subscribe, and share to the coach. Drop him a comment. Let him know where you come from. Let him know V-Ben Israel sent you. Same thing with Messi Michonne. Make sure y'all look up Messi Michonne live. Give her a like, subscribe, and share, and a comment. Let her know where you come from. Let them both know V-Ben Israel sent you. I don't have that many subscribers, but I'm sure I have a few who've never heard of some of you guys. I know a lot of times we make assumptions that everybody knows who we are. Well, you got haters out here. You got people who know who you are, and you'll jump up on their panels or in their comments and they act like they don't know you. I find that very funny. And then I got other people, I ain't been on their podcast in a long time. And I jump on in the comments and they shout me out immediately. Shout out to Theo through the what's his podcast? The Poor Man's Podcast. Is that Theo? Theo Coop? I think it's that. Anyway, he shouted me out recently. I haven't been on there in quite some time. I told y'all I've been detoxing from a lot of the quote unquote manosphere type material. I've detoxed. But CYA. So a lot of people Not all. I gotta emphasize the not all, because anytime I start talking about you ladies, y'all don't hear some. Y'all hear he talking about all women. He bashing women. He talking shit about women. I defend y'all a lot. All the time, actually. So, but a lot of y'all are y'all think y'all could say whatever it is you want to say at any time to anyone. Earlier today, I'm watching, I don't know how. Sometimes I let stuff play. I was cooking breakfast and I watch YouTube on my TV and it'll play automatically to other videos. So, some sheriff guy, he kind of does what the lead attorney does when he's reviewing these police interactions videos, particularly with women. So it's a white guy. He used to be a sheriff, I guess. I think I gave him a subscribe. Anyway, it was pretty good. And the first 5 videos was black women. And then it started to transition into some crazy white women that they thought they could talk to the police any kind of way. They was trying to make the police explain shit to them. And they could do what they want. And you ain't gonna touch me. And you ain't gonna search my bag. Wrong. CYA. Cover your ass at all time, ladies. If you don't want to be dragged out your car and put in handcuffs and snatched up off the ground or through the window, or I've seen it all. If you don't want none of that to happen to you, I suggest you cover your ass and understand that they are the authority. They don't have to explain nothing to. They don't have to tell you once they know they've already told you. You committed a crime. You were speeding. You're refusing to give us your ID. You don't have no ID. You are going to jail now. Well, why? What'd I do? I just told you. But why? See, black men, we're used to that. White women are just starting to do that shit to white men. And white men are reacting to it now. But black men, we've been dealing with that all our lives. But why? But why? But why? You're like, what did coach say? Y'all are children with titties. And that's what a lot of y'all are. You're children with titties. You throw tantrums, you cry, you act unruly when you don't get your way. You think somebody owe you an explanation, but why? But why? But why? Wrong. And men are tired of that shit. Men are walking away. Men are saying, I would rather not deal with that. I'd rather keep peace. I'd rather jerk off and play PlayStation and watch porn than deal with an unruly bitch. And that's what men are universally saying. Men of all races are coming to the same conclusion. I saw a white woman she was, what did she say she was from? Was it Australia or someplace like that? Poland? I don't know. She was in the airport. I don't know what airport, but some airport. And she decided she was just going to walk up in the Delta Sky Cabin. That's for Delta Reward members. You can't just walk up in there if you ain't a Delta Reward member. No, you can't. And a lot of credit card companies have these sky cabins in the airports is exclusively for members. American Express, Capital One, I believe, has one. Um, there are a few of them. Depends on the airport, though. The larger the airport, the more you see. So, and you got different amenities. You got coffee, specialty coffees and teas. Some of them have little sandwiches and shit, and they do all kind of little things. You know, you get points when you buy your ticket using the card. I mean, there's all kind of things. The seats are comfortable. You're away from the general population that's occupying the airport. For those of you who've never been in one, but she just ran up in and started making her coffee and soup and shit. Ma'am, you're not supposed to be in here because you got to check in. You got to show your card and ID. So they called the police. They didn't call security. They called the Popo. So Popo was very polite to her, and they were very patient, way more patient. They're always more patient with women than they are with men, especially black men. Lil Ray would not have gotten 30 minutes to get his shit together before they threw him on the floor. They gave this woman about 30 minutes. I'm like, what the fuck are they going to arrest her? They let her walk way out of the sky cabinet, down the terminal and shit. I'm like, wait a minute. She gonna make it? She ain't gonna get arrested? Of course she got arrested because she in there screaming and telling the cops what they are and not gonna do. White woman. Bitch, you can't play that Karen role. They'll let you get it for a little while, but eventually they gonna get tired of being nice to you. Get on the fucking ground. The conversation with ma'am, please, you gotta exit the premises. That was their tone. So get on the fucking ground. That shit switched up. Words matter. Words have meanings. People are getting fired from their jobs. Because after Charlie Kirk died, like I said, they went on YouTube, found something they didn't like that he said, and took it out of context. And then they went on TikTok and YouTube and made their own videos. Teachers and professional people. Well, you sign a contract when you first get hired at most jobs, right? Most real jobs, anyway. Hell, even McDonald's on the application, there's some fine print on the very bottom of that application. So there's certain things you can't say. You can't embarrass the company. You can't potentially put the company in jeopardy. They look at you as a liability. As a teacher, the school district don't want to get sued because my teacher went and said some misandrous shit. No, you can't do it. Words matter. And see, everybody thinks that they have unlimited speech. That's what they think free speech means. Free speech does not mean unlimited speech. Does not mean that. There is a difference. So what free speech means is the government shall not create any laws that will limit your speech. The government. Because see, when we were before America was founded, we were under British rule. And the king or queen, I guess, could control the things that we said, and you could get thrown in jail for saying some shit or your head chopped off. Say some shit against, fuck the flag burning. Just mumble some shit under your breath about the king. And then the wrong person get wind of it Now you up on the damn chopping block and the executioner is sharpening his blade and shit. That's what happened. So when America was founded, that was the Second Amendment, or the First Amendment, rather. The Second Amendment was designed to protect the first. That's why we have gun rights. So anyway, you can't say certain things. You can't just do anything. Free speech means the government. It doesn't mean your job, your private company who hired you. You cannot fuck up them people money. Whether you fucking it up or not, they not gonna take the risk. They got too much invested. They are not willing to risk getting sued. That's why Joy Reid got fired. You ain't no cop, Joy Reid. Shout out to Anton Daniel. Shout out to LL Cool J. In Too Deep with Omar Epps. You ain't no cop, Jay Reid. You ain't no cop, Joy Reid. That's funny. A lot of you younger people never seen the movie, so you didn't get the joke. When Anton Daniels of AntonDaniels.com said that, shout out to him. I found that shit hilarious when he said it because I'm a movie guy, so I always recognize those little movie quotes that people use. LL was a criminal named God, and Jay Reid was Omar Epps' character. He was an undercover cop designed to infiltrate this organization that LL was running. And anyway, at the end, when LL finally gets arrested, as he's in handcuffs getting taken away, he telling Jay Reid, "You ain't no cop, Jay Reid. You ain't no cop." But Joy Reid, which we'll call it, Rachel Maddow got some heat on her ass. Did Don Lemon get the axe? It's a lot of them. The View, the View guys, they on the View ass right now. Whoopi and Joy Behar and all of them, their jobs is in jeopardy because they fucking up the money with all that talk. Saying they telling lies, and for a decade they've been lying on Trump. And the lefties, soon as you start talking about the Democrats, they always got to bring up Trump. I'm like, Trump ain't even president. Biden is president. What are y'all talking about? Trump did this and Trump did that. No, Biden did that. Biden is the president. What are y'all talking about? It's crazy. Democrats have been in power for a long time. You had 8 years of Bill Clinton, right? Then you had, after Bush, you had 8 years of Barack Obama. That's 16 right there. Then you had 4 years of Joe Biden. That's 20. 20 years right there. These people are entrenched. Those are just the elected officials. What about all the Democrats that were installed? The judges, the other non-elected people who work in government that hold key positions. Yeah, that's the deep state. That's what happened to Trump the first fucking time. He wasn't prepared. He didn't understand the dynamic. He wasn't able to protect himself against those kind of people. That's why this time around, the first thing he did, he got Elon Musk to sick Doge on them motherfuckers. Start digging in their shit. And what did Doge find? all kind of corruption that these Democrats have been engaging in. Transsexual rats in Venezuela or whatever the fuck, and Sesame Street in Afghanistan, and all kind of, they spending hundreds of billions of dollars of taxpayer money on that, but black men ain't never got shit. Ain't never got no help. And white men ain't never, well, they got help indirectly, but not by policy particularly. Not the way women have. Right? See, that's why, like Dr. T.I. Johnson, make sure you subscribe to him. Let him know if you've been Israel sent you. Wrote, he talks about flat black stack. One of the way they do that is when it's something that's almost 99% beneficial to black women, they'll say black people. No, it ain't black people. It's black women getting that. Welfare, food stamps, Section 8. Not affirmative action exclusively went to white women. But like 90% went to white women and like 10% went to everybody else. But not men. Very little, like less than 1% went to black men. Affirmative action, even though we fought for it, right? We died for it. But anyway, all of that went to women. So then DEI, same thing. Because white women some kind of way position themselves as a minority, as a class or a group of people who needed protection. They're the second wealthiest group of demographic of people in the history of this country. And that's still true today. They're the second wealthiest group behind white men. Then I just explain that with the black people, how they didn't have enough sons. So that's how the daughters got control of shit. Same thing happened with white people. White women got a lot of control of a lot of land and resources because they didn't have no brothers. Same thing happened to them. Y'all didn't see that coming. Y'all thought I told that story for no reason. Damn, did it to y'all again. Boy, I be bringing it back around. Y'all don't even be seeing it coming. I could write this shit backwards. When Dave Chappelle said he could write the punchlines first. That's the same shit I be doing to y'all. Y'all think that damn V need to stop talking. Get to the point. He just be rambling. No, I gotta lay the foundation. Because y'all don't have the understanding that I have. A lot of you don't. So I'm a good teacher. So I gotta present the information in a way that you can incorporate it into, y'all like that word, right? Incorporate it into y'all understanding. Right? Y'all forgot. I went to school to be an English teacher. That's the way I started out a long time ago. 31 years now? And I started at South Carolina State in 1994. 31 years ago. Long time, man, that was a different time. But for you men, for you Mitches, for you simps, hear me. And hear me very clearly right now. The 90s ain't never coming back. You will never see them again. See, some of you men, a lot of you men, A lot of you men, not all of me, it ain't all of us. You sound like bitches. Shut up. A lot of you men, a great many, let me say, of you men, y'all are stuck in the 90s. I'm talking to a friend of mine. I gotta call Miosha. Shout out to Miosha. Shout out to her brother Adrian. But anyway, a lot of you are stuck in the 90s. And Miosha was telling me about an ex-boyfriend of hers, a mutual friend of ours. She said, every time I talk to this guy, every time I talk to him, he always talking about some shit from high school. She's like, every single time I talk to him, and he called her a lot. There's always something about high school. Like I said, because that was, for some reason, that was the highlight of his life. And he wasn't even that good. He was just a dude, a big dude who wound up on the football team for a couple of years. He wasn't even on the football team all 4 years. He was only on the football team a few years, couple of years. But he wasn't that good. He was just an average football player in high school. But in his mind, he on that Al Bundy shit. That's why I got my shirt on. Y'all thought I be killing y'all. Y'all thought I wore this shirt for no reason. I got my Al Bundy shirt. Y'all see it? Can y'all see the Bundy? Oh, wait a minute. I'm trying to show it. I don't know. Yeah. I got that Bundy shirt on, that Al Bundy shirt. Polk High School. Y'all on that Polk High School shit. Goofy ass niggas. Even some of you dudes who wasn't even on a team. The closest you came to the basketball team was you played basketball during PE. You was playing pickup games during PE. That was your whole basketball career. You wasn't on the team. Think about it. I tried to tell somebody this recently. You say you got a high school of 1,500 people. Half of those are men, half of them women, just to make the math good. So that's 750 and 750. Of 750 men, you're only going to have about 15 who make the team. Now, you're only going to have about 30 down south anyway, about 30 who try out. Now, up north, you might get 50 to 100, depending on the size of the school, if it's a 4A, 2A, that kind of thing. Down south, the largest schools are football schools. So you ain't going to get a large percentage of people who run track or play baseball or basketball. So you ain't going to have that many to try out. So, but only 15 going to make the basketball team. But every dude you talk to, he was a star athlete on the basketball team in high school. I'm like, nigga, you what? I don't remember you being on the team. What you talking about? I went to two high schools. I went to high school in New Jersey, Abraham and Clark in Roselle, New Jersey, for 2 years. And then I came down south for 2 years, really a year and a half. I got people who I went to high school with in New Jersey who swear I graduated with them. And they be like, yeah, no. Yeah, I remember graduating with you. And you was on the basketball team. I'm like, I was on the basketball team for 2 years. I ran track for 2 years in New Jersey, but I didn't graduate with you. That's how good an athlete I was. And people were still seeing my ghost out there playing and crossing niggas up. Like, come on now. I was a playground legend, man. They used to call me Air Van. That was my nickname that they gave me back in the day. I was Air Van. And then when I started wearing my hair in the flat top, some people tried to call me Dominique Johnson, but that's a long time ago. Long time ago. But anyway, words matter. So to protect yourself from this, you got to cover your ass at all times. Make sure you don't put yourself in position to be adverse to the law. Make sure you on the right side of the law. I think I'm gonna make me a cheeseburger tonight. I was gonna fry. No, I got tacos over there. That's right. But I didn't take nothing out. I made tacos earlier. That's right. I might have the rest of them tacos. So anyway, I'm sorry, my mind just flipped like that. But anyway, yeah. So make sure when you get a job, you're reading all that fine print. Make sure once you get hired, you read that employee contract or that employee handbook. Make sure you understand your state laws. Most states or many states are at will and right to work states, meaning they can fire you at any minute for any reason. They ain't even got to give you a reason. They can just fire you. And that's what's happening. But but why? But why? That mentality thinks you owed an explanation. No, these people don't owe you shit. They paid you. That's all they owe you is the check. They ain't got to explain their decisions too. Understand that, particularly if you live in a at will and a right or right to and or right to work state. Understand those laws. I remember I would fire people when I worked at McDonald's in the 90s. And I would have to explain it to people. I don't owe you an explanation. I ain't got to explain nothing to you. You're fired. Turn in your keys. I'll take your keys now. Turn in your uniform when you pick up your last check. Way back then, it wasn't no direct deposit. It was paychecks. So, yeah. And of course, black women, but why? What I do? I ain't do nothing. They go to getting angry and cussing you the fuck out. I don't give a shit. You ain't getting no more checks. I know that. That's what I do know. And they was always going to get somebody to fuck you up. Okay, do that if you want. It ain't never happened, by the way. Nobody ever show up. But they love, that's their thing. They love using black men as little pit bull. They don't want protection. They want a trained dog. They want a pit bull that they could sick you on somebody when they pissed off. I'm gonna get my cousin. I'm gonna get my brother. I remember that was real popular when I was growing up. And sometimes them pookies would show up and get fucked up by somebody else because they didn't know. All they know is what their cousin told them. Oh, he a punk. I need you to go. He fucking with me. And you run up on Big Nate and you find out Nate ain't no punk and Nate big as shit. What was that movie? Lottery Ticket. Nate looked like that nigga from Lottery Ticket to crush the basketball. That's how Nate looked in fucking high school. Nigga, look, he had the LeBron James grown man ass body. What the hell? Him and his brother Ansley was unusually big boys for high school. They was football players too. That's all they played was football. Shit. I'm like, man, if you ever learn how to play basketball, man, you'd be a nice ass Larry Johnson is power forward type ass ninja. But them, typically football players only played football back then. But anyway, SYSM. I've changed it. Remember, it used to be. I've been telling y'all this for years. I've been telling y'all this. And keep looking like people popping in and out. So that's why I keep getting close. So anyway, for years I've been telling y'all. SYSBM. Save yourself, black man. Now I'm changing. SYSM. Save yourself, man. Because it just don't apply to black men no more. White men is going through it. Next is going to be Hispanic men. Next is going to be Asian men. Everybody else. That's the way things are going. And men are going to continually walk away. They don't want to deal with the nonsense, the aggravation. We do too much for y'all. We're not getting the return on the investment. What we do for y'all don't put the same effort into doing for us. And then at the end, 10 to 20 years in, I'm going to lose everything I worked for. Men are saying, fuck no. Nope. Not at all. I ain't even giving you a baby in that scenario. And so a lot of y'all, that's why a lot of y'all come dumpsters. And you in your 40s and 50s now wondering why you can't make a relationship work. 5, 10 years, you ain't never been able to do it. Because you don't provide a ROI, a return on investment. And the men are just saying, why? I'll just fuck you for a little while. I'll let you suck my dick for a little while. And I'll enjoy it while it lasts. And then when it's over, it's over. And most times y'all end it. Or y'all piss off the man and he walks away, but you done pissed him the fuck off. But you know how far a man got to get to that point? Miss Tasty Cakes ain't here no more, y'all. I ain't been talking about it. She gone. She decided to move back with her parents. All right, to go to the door. There you go. Her apartment was directly across the parking lot, but she was always here. She had been here for 9 months. For 9 months. Next month, more than 9 months, actually. 10 months. Next month will be a year. I met her in October last year, remember? She was locked out. So anyway, she been acting funny ever since I've been in the hospital. Ever since soon as I went in the hospital, she started acting funny. And Imagine picked up on it right away. I kind of noticed little things. I just didn't say nothing. But Imagine didn't like that shit. Imagine like, wait a minute, you doing my daddy like this? And then you got the nerve to be sleeping in his bed and eating his food. Bitches, you crazy? Imagine wanting to come whoop her ass. I'm like, Imagine, that's a big girl now. Imagine little and tiny and petite. Imagine ain't but 130 pounds. Well, 5'4", 5'5" ass. Imagine ain't big. I mean, she can fight, but I mean, you fighting a gorilla. You fighting, it's a monkey fighting a gorilla. That ain't gonna work. I don't care how well the monkey fight. He ain't gonna beat no gorilla. Not no full size gorilla. It ain't gonna happen. I ain't calling her a gorilla. I'm using the size comparison. I loved her. And I treated her well. But anyway, so she had been here. Remember, we moved in September. She had pretty much been here with me since November. So All of that time, her apartment was empty the whole time. She only had a bedroom in the apartment. So she ain't had no furniture, nothing. She ain't even had no pots and pans. I'm like, why are you paying rent over there? I said that to her in January. Why are you paying rent for an empty apartment? But she was like my cousin Ali. She wanted to be able to get pissed off and cut you out and go home, or go to the empty apartment. Well, when that didn't work, because I wasn't giving her very many reasons to get pissed off, she started making up shit. Oh, you said this. I said shit I didn't say. I did something I didn't do. I need to try to make me apologize. So, baby, I ain't gonna apologize for shit I didn't say. That is not gonna happen. I don't know who you used to dealing with, them weak ass niggas. I'm standing on business over here. I'm never gonna apologize for some shit that I did not say. Not gonna happen. But so I didn't change. She changed drastically. But you don't expect me to react to your change? Like, are you crazy? Like, that's not even logical. You totally changed the dynamic of our relationship, and I ain't supposed to say nothing. And then, so anyway, she was deciding whether, and her hometown is like 2 hours away. She was deciding whether she was gonna stay here with me or move back in with her parents 2 hours away, even though she worked here. Like, just you here anyway. Like, what is the what are you deciding? She didn't want me, she didn't want to feel like I had leverage over her. I said, no. What it is you think you have leverage over me and you don't. And now you're just starting to realize how little leverage you don't have. You have none. I got my own spot. I pay all of the bills. I buy all of the food. What do you do for me? You make sure I take my medicine. And at one point she was cooking, but when she was cooking, hell, she was mainly making hamburger helper. Like, I mean, come on. You act like you were here cooking gourmet meals. You cooking hamburger helper that I bought and that I had delivered, so she didn't even have to go grocery shopping. The food just magically appeared. Isn't that amazing? But I'm supposed to be overly grateful for you when you can disrespect me? No, there's the door. You don't want to be here. Well, you ain't gonna start asking me for no money, are you? I'm like, have I ever asked you for any money? Stay here if you want to stay. If you don't want to stay, there's the door. That's your choice. I don't want nobody around me who don't want to be around me. Period. But see, leverage is, and men are starting to realize this. Leverage is more important than money. This is essentially what the free agent lifestyle that Coach Greg Adams teaches about. Get your leverage. Boss up, nigga. Right? Boss up 2025. And it's about to be boss up 2026. Maintain your leverage. First, get some leverage. You got to get your own money. You got to get your own place. Because as long as you living with a woman, she's gonna, and then she may not do it all the time, but at some point it's gonna come out. She's gonna think she can talk to you any kind of way she feels like and be very disrespectful to you. It will happen. Every woman I've known is like that. family and friends included. They all like that. Now, men, when they have leverage, they don't do that. Because if men try to do that, he's abusive. That's another word. He's an abuser. Unless you date a younger woman, he's a pedophile. Dating a younger woman doesn't make you a pedophile. That makes you a man. Men are attracted to younger women, not old biddies with nasty attitudes who provide a low or no ROI. Why don't you date a woman your age? Because there's little to no return on investment. And by the time they get in their 40s and 50s, they in debt, they credit bad. You gotta come in the door fixing shit. They done inherited a house from their mama, their grandmama, their daddy, their granddaddy that's falling apart. So if you're gonna live in it, you're gonna be expected to contribute to the repairs or to the upkeep of the house. Same difference. So while you pay the mortgage, hell, if you pay the mortgage, she still ain't gonna get the house fixed unless she absolutely has to. Something will have to break down. Women don't like maintenance. They only like doing repairs if they are forced to. They don't like doing it. They will do it if they are forced to. You be telling the woman, hey, you need some new windows in your house. You need to get your HVAC checked. You need to get a mechanic at the dealership to look at your car. They don't want to kick out the extra money. They would rather spend that money getting their hair done instead of riding around in the car. So they'll take that car repair money or maintenance money and go get their hair done and pray that their car don't break down. That's the female mindset, white, black, and otherwise. So they want you to move in so you could contribute your money into the house and they spend their money the way they want to. So you're going to be putting 90 to 100% of your money in their house. That because of equitable distribution, you may or may not know. If you ain't married, you ain't getting none of it. There is no common law marriage in North Carolina. So don't even think you going that route. If you could be with a woman for 10 years and been paying her mortgage for 10 years, and then once y'all break up, that's it. You get nothing. Men are saying, why? Why would I do that? But women, I got my own house. I got good. Keep your house. Good. And now what? Black women are the number one group of demographic of people who are losing their houses to foreclosure. They're the number one demographic of people who are being evicted because they want to spend their money on what they want to spend their money on. And now what they don't want to CYA, they don't want to spend the money on what they need to spend it on. So they'll get one of you simps to come in because they can control you with a little bit of pussy. And then when you get in there good with them, whether you marry them or not, they're gonna start taking the pussy away from you. They're going when you first got with it, she was sucking your dick every damn day. She was sucking your dick in the car, in the kitchen, when the kids was at school, when they went to sleep. You was getting your dick sucked 2 times, 3 times a day. Now you're married or you in a full-time relationship where you living with her in her house. You be lucky to get your dick sucked once a month. Probably not even then. And then when you get a dick sucked, it ain't gonna be good. It's gonna be lazy. It's gonna be a lazy ass blowjob. But before, she was sucking the dog on, sucking your dick inside out. She was making your belly button pop pop out. Your belly button was popping out when you first met her. Now You dry, your dick dry as shit. Mm-hmm. Y'all the niggas buying extra moisturizing soap because your dick is so dry. Y'all niggas buying that Dove moisturizer for men. Right? Men are tired of playing this game. Men are like, I'd rather keep the money. 10 years from now, I'll be able to buy the car I want. Maybe even in cash. The money that I waste on women, they start doing the math. Especially a man who goes on a lot of dates, he thinking like, damn, even a man only going to Applebee's spending $30, $40, if he do that 10 times a month, that's $300 a month. $300 a month times 12 months a year times 10 years is how much? That's what men start doing. They start doing that math in their hand. They got calculators on these cell phones. They start doing the math. Like, wait a minute. If I just chill and hold my money back, my resources back for 10 years, I'm gonna get that. I'm gonna get that car I want. It may not be brand new, but I'm gonna pay cash for it. Or it's a good down payment on a new car that I do want. And during that same time period, I maintain my credit because I wasn't using my credit to benefit her house. I didn't put nothing in my name. I didn't put her car in my name. I didn't put her vacation on my credit card. And then I got to pay my credit card late because she need her hair done. No. Or she need her car fixed. No. Men are saying no. No, ma'am. Shout out to Al Bundy. National Organization Men Against Amazonian Masterhood. No, ma'am. Al Bundy is the last real masculine TV dad. Argue with me. Argue with me. All the other TV dads were simps. All the other TV dads from the 90s was simps. And since Bill Cosby was the biggest simp, or one of the biggest, right? Even Chris Rock's dad on everybody hates Chris. Or is it everybody loves Chris? I think it's everybody hates Chris. Terry Crews, bitch ass, was a simp on that show. And so if you're a woman who don't want to act correctly or provide a return on an investment for the man you dealing with, you won't even do it for the man you say you want if you get him. The millionaires, the high value men, the athlete men, the rapper men, y'all won't even respect them. Man provides you a lifestyle you never look at Aisha Curry running around. Didn't I tell y'all? I told y'all about 5 years ago when she started hanging out. When she started hanging out with Jada Pinkett, right? When she started hanging out with Jada Pinkett Smith, no, with Jada Pinkett, because it's Will Pinkett. Anyway, when she started hanging out with Jada Pinkett, what did I tell you? I said that's the end of his marriage. Jada Pinkett fucked up his father's marriage and his marriage. It's only a matter of time, I told y'all 5 years ago. Look at her today. She running around here out of control. She's gonna fuck up that man's legacy, the bag, everything else, and get half his money. Why? Because he didn't have a prenup. Because I believe he got with her before he became the star. I think they got together in high school. So she was the shit in high school. Remember, I told you there's that 90s mentality. They think it's coming back, or they still see themselves as they were in high school. So she was probably the bad bitch on campus in high school. And he needed to be grateful. They wasn't even together in high school. They was just friends. They got together later. So he needed to be grateful that I decided to finally give him a shot. That's our attitude. Even though he's a GOAT, he's the greatest shooter of all time. He's a GOAT. Steph Curry is a GOAT. And she treating him like he just some pookie he work at McDonald's. Barack Obama, only man of color to become president, right? The first non-white American man to be president. She's the first black first lady. And she was beloved. She fucked her. She was beloved by men and women. Hell, she could have been president as much as people loved her. I think enough black men, Latino men and women would have voted her ass into office. She fucked it up, not playing her position. And Barack did not cover his ass. And he's a simp like Will, so he will never divorce her. Ever. He looking at it like, I've been with her this long. I'm gonna go ahead and ride it on out until she finally have enough of his ass, his bitch ass. He ain't getting his dick sucked, and she ain't showing up for these exclusive presidential functions where all she got to do is show her face for a couple of hours. If she won't do that, do you think she's sucking his dick? Y'all crazy as hell. Remember, they moved into the White House and she brought her mama with her. I said, oh shit. Oh shit. She brought her mama and the dog. Oh shit. I said, this don't look good, Barry. This don't look good. See, he didn't grow up around black people, so he didn't know how to CYA against black women. He had no clue. It hit him, it caught him completely off guard. Now he miserable. Look at him at the last two presidential functions. Miserable as shit. Now they about to bring him out again next year for some of these midterms. Look how old he looked, and look how miserable he looked. He was one of the best looking presidents of all time. Nothing but swag. So now he look at some old nigga hanging outside the liquor store now. That's how he looked. He looked depressed, like one of them niggas. Yeah. Can't make this shit up. Ain't that what Kevin used to tell us? Can't make this shit up. But men, you got to get leverage. You got to control your resources. Especially when you don't have that much resources. Even a man making an average salary of $47,000, almost $50,000 a year, has resources. Protect your credit, avoid debt, get your own shit, and stand whole masculine frame. You gonna pay for some shit and let somebody else tell you how shit gonna go in your spot? No, not no more. Not in today's world. These younger men ain't having that. No. Millennials was the last group to really tolerate that. Hell, these young boys would rather be gay than be with some of you women. That's sad. That is sad. They see, they watched how y'all treated their fathers, their grandfathers, and they like, man, I don't want that shit. I'm not gonna bust my ass at work, at the plant or wherever, and put up with the bullshit at work, and then I gotta come home and put up with it too. Mm, no, no, the men ain't dealing with it, man. Some young men ain't dealing with it. And I can't wait to see what the alphas is gonna be like. I'm very curious. But it's gonna get worse. It's not gonna get better. You got these manosphere dudes want to be red. They not red pill. They blue pill. They think it's gonna change back. They think they can argue women into submission. They think they can force women to change back to this mythological time period where women were different and they would stay at home wives, and that never happened. That time period, that timeline never existed. Women have always had to work. It was very small percentage of women who got to stay home and not work. Even the women who stayed home, they worked out of the house. They babysat, they cooked, they washed and ironed clothes, they were seamstresses, they did some kind of work. They didn't just sit at home twiddling their fingers. Hell, running a kitchen back then was a damn near full-time job. They didn't have the modern conveniences of microwaves, dishwashers, refrigerators. They didn't have those conveniences, Ziploc bags. They had to store food. There was a lot that went into food storage. They had gardens and jobs. Your granddaddy didn't make enough money to support the whole household by himself. Y'all better do some historical research on that timeline. Y'all are crazy. Black men wasn't making more money then than they are now. Their money took them further, but they didn't out earn us. Y'all are crazy. How everything was cheaper: gas, houses, electricity, mortgages. Even though the interest rate was higher, the mortgage was cheaper. That's how grandpa was and grandma was able to pay off the house and buy another house and pay that one off because it was less money. But y'all just live in bizarro land or some shit, man. And y'all don't understand history. SYSM. Save yourselves, men. You can't save these women. They don't want to be saved. They want to be spoiled. They want your resources. They don't want you. They don't even like you most of the time. And then they planning a divorce. They said they spending the whole time you together establishing a case against you. like it's Law and Order, preparing to leave. I tell y'all about Tasty Cakes. She spent the last 2 months trying to pick arguments with me. So she had a reason to leave. I'm like, baby, you could just leave. Like, you ain't got to say shit. I'm not gonna say shit. I'm not gonna argue with you. It's a waste of my time. I'm not getting my blood pressure up. Hey, that's what you think? Okay. You ain't gonna say nothing? Nope. You ain't even gonna apologize. Nope. Mm. I'm not that invested because you showed me you're not invested. The fact that you're even considering. She told me how bad her ex-husband was, how much of a pookie and ain't shit he was. To come into this situation where you ain't got to spend a dime, you got comfortable shit, you got a TV to watch, internet, food in the refrigerator, snacks in the pantry, everything you need is here. Furniture, pots, pans. You don't want to be here. You want to go back to your mom. And I told her, and ladies, understand this. Tried to tell my cousin the same thing. Your parents don't love you as much as you think they do. I said that to my aunt, my cousin's mother. And at first, her first reaction, that ain't true. And then I broke it down to her. I said, no, Brianna can come stay with you for a short period of time. But for her to permanently move in with you, you don't want that. Now, do you? She was like, hell no. Exactly. So you don't love her as much as she thinks you do. Because in her mind, she can always come home and live with you as long as she wants. No, she can't. Exactly. I think y'all might need to have that conversation. But it's a lot of women out here that think like that. My mom and daddy love me. No, they don't. They've been waiting 18 years to get you out the house, to finally get you out the house, marry you off for you to come back after especially if they find out you in a good situation. But see, Tasty Cakes never did that. She never told her parents about me. Now she done met all kind of people in my family. I ain't never met her people. Never. Never. She probably told him, oh, he just a neighbor guy. He just my neighbor. She ain't tell him that you laying up in that man bed every day. You sitting on that man toilet every day. You wiping your ass with his tissue. You taking a shower in his shower with soap he bought. You eating his food. No, she ain't never told her parents that. No. He treats you good. But your problem with him is she had a problem with me watching Coach Greg Adams. All Coach Greg Adams do is talk shit about women. Obviously. And she heard this through a closed door in another room. She ain't never sat in here and watched one of his shows with me or been in the kitchen while I was watching it. She ear hustling from another room. Come on, baby. You obviously ain't watched this show because Coach Greg Adams talked more shit about men, especially this year, about men than women. Now, he may talk shit about a particular woman and he's showing the video, but that ain't all women. That's that woman. That's all I got, y'all. I ain't got no more. I'm tired of this. Save yourselves, men. Protect yourselves at all times. The lead attorney and she said has that website of that's the coffee pod, by the way. There's two more content creators. the Coffee Pod and the Lead Attorney. They got a website that's helping men uh, establish prenuptial agreements the right way before they get married. I suggest if you are going to get married, I'm not against marriage. If you are going to do it, protect yourself at all times. Because believe me, believe Coach when he tells you the marriage will is real. It will be a bait and switch time in your marriage. And you're going to be pissed off. Protect yourselves at all times. That's all I got. Like, subscribe, and share on your way out. And make sure y'all stay tuned. It's your boy V Ben Israel with the People's Podcast. It's your boy.